It is a pleasure that you are with me again. I hope you and your pet are well. Today we will talk about the following: dogs and babies, tips for a good coexistence. Let's start. The arrival of your baby at home is a moment full of illusion and feelings. But one of the big questions will be to see how your dog will react, especially as the baby grows and both in the same home. Your dog may have adapted to the arrival of the little one at first, but once he becomes more active, he will begin to crawl and, therefore, to discover his surroundings by touching everything that is within his reach, such as the dog and his toys. How will your dog react? The logic would be, I would have less time to spend with my dog, so I should get used to it. That. Stop petting the dog. Fewer toys for the dog. No more prodigious love with the dog I chose to bring into my home, and committed to for life. It can't be done. So that you can preserve the harmony of your home, there are a series of keys to achieve a good coexistence between the baby and the dog. There are many tips, but today we will talk about the main ones. 1. Dogs plus babies alone equals associate good times. Especially in the case of first-time parents, the arrival of the baby may mean an excess of attention to the little one, inadvertently leaving the dog aside. Therefore, it is convenient for your dog or cat to learn to associate the presence of the baby with the arrival of good things for him. Although sometimes it is difficult for you, try to resist the temptation to attend to the dog only when the child is asleep or is not there. The best thing is that the dog understands that when the child is awake and active, he is also taken into account in positive things or given to him, such as caresses, games, walks, food, or anything else that you know he likes. This way your pet will associate the good times when the little one is there and will wait for him more eagerly. 2. Let him get used to the new sounds. Although a few months have passed since the arrival of the little one and you have tried to prepare the dog to live with the child, he may still be surprised or frightened by the sounds of the baby. In addition, your dog may also be increasingly nervous when he hears you cry. At that time, try throwing the dog a piece of tasty food. This way the dog will learn to expect good things when he hears the cry. 3. Prepare it for any handling. It is obvious that sooner or later, his attentions will end up directed towards the house dog, and the child may end up grabbing him and pulling his hair, ears, tail, or any other part that is within his reach. You need to prepare your dog for the situation and thus avoid risks before the child learns to crawl. What it is about is getting the dog used to receiving different types of manipulation in a progressive way. If you see that your dog tolerates a certain level of manipulation, then you can increase the intensity. If you increase it more than necessary, you will immediately notice it by looking at the dog's reaction, that instead of staying relaxed he will try to move away or avoid contact. The handling should be similar to what a child might do. When you are doing this exercise, you should reward the dog with something that you know he really likes. The most important thing here is that you perform the manipulation first and then he receives the reward from him. The fact of being on the lookout for a prize will make it more bearable for some rougher manipulations. It is essential that you practice this exercise daily, so that when the day comes when the child pulls his ear or grabs a lock of hair, your dog will most likely expect a treat. So give him his reward, because he deserves it. 4. Let him learn when to walk away. Chances are that as the baby's life goes by, you'll realize that sometimes it's helpful for the dog to know to walk away from a situation when you tell him to. For example, when you need more space or when the child starts to crawl on the floor. To do it correctly, you have to follow these steps. Choose a word, for example quiet. Say it out loud and immediately throw a treat on the ground away from where the dog is. It is key that the dog visualizes the treat. This is an exercise that requires several repetitions before moving on to the next step. Say the chosen word again and extend your arm as if you were tossing a prize. But you only have to throw it when the dog starts moving in the direction indicated by your arm. You will see how each time you repeat the exercise your dog will respond sooner, until the moment when he will move away as soon as he hears the word quiet. When the time comes you have to continue to reward him for his correct behavior, although it is not necessary to give him a reward every time the dog walks away after saying the word. These are just some tips to generate a good coexistence between your baby and your dog. Develop your dog's hidden intelligence to eliminate misbehavior and create the well-behaved, obedient pet of your dreams. Hit the instant access button below now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, and share the video. Thanks.